Because here's the thing, idolatry, when we think of idolatry, we think of worshiping a statue, how they did on Good Times. They was worshiping the lettuce head and all of this type of stuff. But that ain't just idolatry. Idolatry is whatever pulls you away or pulls your attention from God. Can I make it plain? I'm going to use me because I don't want to offend y'all. So let me use me. In the morning, when I get up, you know the first thing I do? My wife can tell you. I turn the TV on. When I come home from work, you know the first thing I do? I turn the TV on. Because that has taken, because I gotta watch my shows, I gotta see what the news in the morning, I gotta watch my sports, I gotta see what my Texans doing, I gotta do all of these things. I gotta look at this TV, I got to be in the TV, I got to know what's going on. When in the meantime, I could be in my word studying my Bible. And a whole lot of times, we have things in our lives that we're idolizing. We idolize in our homes, and we idolize our cars, and we got toys and all of this type of stuff. We make sure all of that is straight, but on the other end, we give God the leftovers after we've done and satisfied our flesh.
Yeah.
Preach.
Some of us, we get up in the morning, you don't turn the TV on, maybe you grab your phone because you got to check social media, you got to see who done posted what and who done this. Some of us, it's food. We love cooking because we love to eat. It's sort of like, it's the flesh versus the spirit. It's sort of like fried chicken on this hand, which is the flesh, and a good salad. And here's what a whole lot of times what we do, we combine the two. So now we got a grilled chicken salad. Fried chicken salad. And God is saying, listen, don't be led by your flesh, but be led by the Spirit. Let's continue. He says sorcery, hatred. We got all of this because when we're in the flesh, this is what is exemplified. We got the hatred, we got contentions, Lord, we got jealousies. Lord have mercy. I can't understand. I've never really been a jealous type dude. Only when it relates to maybe my wife and my child. Oh, don't look at her too much. You can look, but don't. Someone get the balling in me. I guess that's the Spirit of God, because we serve a jealous God, amen. But you can't allow that to consume you. He says, listen, outbursts of wrath. I ain't get an amen right there. But y'all know we have some outbursts. We got some wrath in us. You better not say nothing crazy to us, for you know it. You done said some stuff you ain't supposed to say. That's when you're driven by the flesh. We got selfish ambitions. It's all about us. What we can gain, what we can go through. Dissensions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness. Let me say it again. Drunkenness. Because we like Jamie, we got to drink. We like to be on that goose to get loose. We like that apple. Did I tell? We like to drink.
All right.
Because, and here's the thing, it's a problem. Here's a problem when the flesh is taken over you and you're consumed by it.
All right.
You're consumed by it. Rivalries and the like, of which, this is Apostle Paul saying, I tell you beforehand, just as I also told you in the past, that those who practice such things, that's the key word, practice such things, will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Now I want each of us to examine ourselves and look at what is it that you practice. Which one of these do you practice? Because a whole lot of us, we practice a whole lot of stuff. We good at lying, and we good at talking about people, and we practice this stuff. And when you practice it, you are in the flesh.
Yeah. Preach.
What is it that I practice? Do I practice studying my Bible? Do I practice making sure I'm in attendance at church? Do I practice praying at least 3 times a day? Do I practice being kind to people? Because though, as Apostle Paul says, that's when you're the works of the flesh. But here's the other side to it. He says, here's what you ought to be doing. Look at verse 22. He says, but the fruit of the Spirit, when your motivation is to, or when you're led by the Spirit, here's what happens. He says the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self. Y'all help me talk this thing out. That's when you're following the Spirit. You'll have some love. If anything, and it's interesting that Paul, he uses love first. Because I believe love is the key in life. We living in a world today where I just talked about people is all about themselves. Matter of fact, we named this church because that's what I believe the world needs is more love. Because here's the thing, how do I know? Because watch this, when we were lost and we were on our way to hell, Christ came because he loved us first. And that's what we need, more love. Because when you're in the Spirit versus in your flesh, you'll have some love. You'll have joy. You'll have some peace. You'll have some we don't want to suffer. We don't want long suffering. Oh, we go through something. God can give you the time frame that you're going to go through it, and you still going to be complaining about why you're in it, and you know it's going to end Tuesday. We still complain on Saturday. Oh, Lord, when I'm going to get, I told you Tuesday, but we still will complain. Because we don't want to suffer. We don't want to go through nothing. We live in a generation now where we want instant everything. We want instant money. We want instant love. We want instant greets. We want instant we just want instant everything. But the best meals, y'all, is the meals that you put in the crock pot. Because it takes a little time. So that meat can get real tender. It takes time. Your best wine is the wine that has been taking time. I ain't telling nobody to go get them no wine. I'm just using this as an illustration. Because we don't want to suffer. We don't want to go through anything. He said, listen, what are you led by? Are you led by your flesh? Because your flesh is going to lead you to death. or are you led by the Spirit? I'm going to stop right there really, but a lot of us, or a lot of people, need to question whether or not they really are saved. A lot of people need to question, and you know, we use this excuse, God know my heart. We use this all the time, God knows my heart. When we mess up, God knows my heart. And here's the difference between somebody who's led by the Spirit versus somebody led by the flesh. The person who's led by the flesh, they jump into stuff. In other words, it ain't no thinking about it. It just, when it comes up, bam. Don't care who he is, who she is, just bam, hey boo. Just in the flesh, just bam, just natural. Here's when you're led by the Spirit. It might appear, because Paul says, when I want to do good, evil's always present. But even though the evil shows up, I may turn that way. But when you're led by the Spirit, something will hit you in your conscience and say, no, I ain't going that way. It ain't that you're going to be tempted. You're not going to be tempted. But God always sends you a way out. And his way out is his Holy Spirit. That's how you know somebody's driven by. And here's the thing, we Christians, we don't jump into stuff. Sometimes we fall into stuff. Because when you jump, you just go in. But when you fall, it's sort of like you get tripped up. And a whole lot of people need to question whether or not they have a relationship with the Lord. Some of us, we too quick to go left. And God is saying, go right. I was going to leave you there, but I ain't going to leave you there. Let me give you this last one. So there's no condemnation. There's no obligation to the flesh. But then there is an alteration.